Welcome back, guys, and in this video, you get to see how much I make, or how much other YouTubers make that are under 10,000 subscribers. Now for this video, I do want to make it all-encompassing. I want to grab everything, all the information I can, so I'm going to split it into 3 parts. The first part is going to be what makes up a YouTuber's income. The second part, I'm going to talk a little bit about CPM, and the third part, I'm going to talk about the actual pay. So first up, what makes up a YouTuber's income? Now, a lot of people will get this wrong that aren't really YouTubers, people on the outside, or if you haven't really done much research and you want to become a YouTuber, the number one thing is subscribers do not matter when it comes to the income side. You can have 12 subscribers and have 10 million views per month. That's how you're making a majority of your money, is by views and watch time and a few other things. But subscribers don't matter at all. Subscribers does help get your videos out there, seen by more people, shows up in their feeds. So it does get it to a bigger audience, but it has really nothing to do with the amount of money that you're making. Now, when you see a lot of really big YouTubers, they're actually not making a majority of their money from YouTube. Usually, a majority of their money comes from sponsorships, and it also comes from merch sales. Merch sales, if they have merch sales, is the highest grossing thing that they have. That's where they make all their money. And usually second below that is outside parties paying them to make a video, sponsorships. That's why you usually see a little segment in some of the really big YouTubers that have sponsored content. They make a lot of money on that, way more than YouTube gives them for however many videos that they're making. And if you are just making money off of YouTube strictly, that money is coming from advertisements. So whenever you start a video and you have to watch an ad, or you get the little banner below at the bottom during the videos, that's how YouTubers like myself are making money through YouTube. They monetize the video, which means they put ads on there. YouTube knows, hey, there's a lot of people going to this video. I want to put advertisements on here. Companies pay YouTube, and YouTube pays you a tiny percent of that, and that's how YouTubers get paid. So like I said, payment from YouTube comes from watch time, views, and CPM. CPM is what makes this really muddied, and there's no definitive answer. I can't say people under 10,000 will make this, people with 9,000 will make this. CPM is king. Now if you're like, what the heck is a CPM? Let me tell you. CPM stands for cost per mil. I think it's a Latin word, M-I-L-L-E, mil. Mil stands for thousand, so cost per thousand. That means the cost that YouTube is paying you per 1,000 views, not just on one video, just in general, all of your videos, cost per 1,000 of views. However, different videos can have different content, so again, that's a little muddied too. Now, CPM's price is determined by the content that you have on your channel. Like, what type of content do you do on your channel? And basically, the highest ones go for the most user-friendly or advertiser-friendly stuff that's on YouTube. So, like kid stuff. Anyone can watch kid stuff. Advertisers love that because anyone can watch it. There's no controversy in it. So they will pay the most for those. Things that are a little bit iffy and edgy, those are going to be at the very bottom because some advertisers don't want to put their ads on something that might be controversial. So you can have someone like myself. I don't really have a lot of edgy stuff. On average, my CPM is a lot higher than even some really big YouTubers. So if I got more views for my videos, I would be making more than other YouTubers based on my CPM. So the amount of people that are watching, so cost per 1,000, so the amount of people and the CPM, which is basically what it's times by, that is your money making baby right there. Now let me tell you another thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and a lot of people don't think about when they start YouTube or they start getting really popular on YouTube. Taxes. Taxes are brutal for YouTubers because YouTube is self-employment. That's how you file your taxes. It is a self-employment, so you have to file a self-employment tax form. That's a whole different video. I'm not really going to talk about that, but basically what that means is the tax that you have to take out for self-employment is 15.3% of all of your income. Self-employment takes that chunk out. But wait, there's more. Not only that, but you also still have to pay federal taxes. And federal taxes, sticking with the 10,000, if you're under 10,000, you're probably going to be making under $20,000, which means you're in the lowest tax bracket, which means the federal government is going to take another 10% of your income. But wait, there's still more. That's right, state taxes are still a thing. Now, there are just a few states that don't have state taxes, like Texas, Washington. They don't have state taxes, so if you live there, awesome. If you don't, it's on average about 5%. If you live in California, it sucks to be you because that is the highest. It is 13.3% added onto all of those other taxes. So at the end of the day, you can't really just look at how much you're making on YouTube and be like, oh yeah, I'm bringing in $500 a month. No, not really. You gotta take out a lot. So looking here in my Creator Studio for my monthly estimated revenues, for November, I did really well. I made $613. So from that $613, if I do this by a month-to-month basis, I have to take off 15.3% for my self-employment tax. I have to take off another 10% for my tax bracket for federal. And because currently I live in North Carolina, I have to take off another 5.25%. So if you're a YouTuber, you definitely have to manage your money because YouTube doesn't take this out. YouTube gives you all the money. If you made $613, they're gonna give you $613. But once tax season comes around, you have to pay that back. Unless you do deductibles, again, that's separate videos. So many people on YouTube do this. But that's something you have to remember is they don't take it out like a standard W-2 for a regular job. But the money that you get, that's tax deducted. Well, most of it's tax deducted. You don't have to worry about that. YouTube doesn't do it like that. So you have to kind of remember, okay, I'm actually getting this much, so don't spend that, save it, because I might have to give that back for taxes. And here's another thing that I can't really find any videos on, and there's not a whole lot of people that talk about this. I call it the January drop. This happens January 1st of every single year, and from my research, what I can tell is January 1st is the contract negotiation or the new contracts for YouTube and their advertisers. So at the beginning of the year, YouTube is getting all these new advertisements, renegotiating contracts for the year, so everything starts out really low. Like there's a huge dip here. And then as the months go on, everything basically stables out to where it usually is for the rest of your previous years if you look at your analytics. But that's something not a lot of people talk about, is that the big January drop. It really sucks. So what YouTube does is a 28-day, not a 30 or a 31. I don't know why they do 28. But this is the last 28 days, not including a little chunk over here in the corner, because there's usually a 2-day delay for them to get the analytics up. So it can show you down here, there's all the videos that you post, and each one of these will say how much you're making per day. So if you hover over one of these, it says Friday, November 22nd, 2019, 22. That means you made $22 in that day. Now, if you want a little bit more, up here it says your estimated revenue. That is for the 28 days. My CPM right now is 9.74, which is actually really high. A lot of people kind of hover around 4 or 5, I believe. But if we change this to 365 days, so far this year, you can see I've made around $6,000. Now this is 365, so this isn't starting January 1st. You can see that January drop where I plummeted all the way down. And then it kind of jumps back up and then pretty much stabilizes around June. Around right here, I'm making $20-ish per video. I get that spike during the holidays, and that's how much I'm making on YouTube. You can also get a monthly breakdown. Right here it says monthly estimated revenue. You can see about how much you're making per month on here. You can see how much each video is making you. And of course, if you scroll down, you want to know more about this, you can see how much I'm making or you're making for ad revenue. So strictly based on the advertisements. So basically that's a mass majority of where your money is coming from. And then you can break it down even further to the ad type. So what type of ads are getting the most views, which means are getting the most revenue. So the last thing I am going to talk about is monetization. Basically, that just means putting ads on your videos and making money from it. You can't just make a YouTube account and start monetizing content, or else there would just be so much stuff out there. YouTube can't handle that. So they put a limit on it. And right now the limit is you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers and you need to have 4,000 watch hours for the last year. So that means 4,000 hours needs to be watched within an entire year. That sounds like a lot, but really it's not. Depending on how many videos you make and the content you make, it's not really a whole lot, because if you make good quality videos and people watch it all the way through, another thing on the analytics you can look at, but if they watch it all the way through, that stuff adds up really, really quick. So if you have 1,000 subs and you have at least 4,000 watch hours for the last 365 days, then you can apply to get monetized. Now, it never used to be this way. YouTube has been switching it up through the years. I've been on YouTube for a really long time, but because I don't have a niche market, I didn't blow up like the other YouTube people. Anyway, I've been on here for a really long time, probably since like 2009, 2008-ish. But when I first got it, it was actually YouTube sending notifications out, like email. They emailed you and said, hey, your channel's getting quite a bit of traffic. Would you like to monetize it? And then they switched it up to a few different things. But currently that's how it is. And that's how much money you can make. Remember, CPM and your content and views is what makes up all the money on YouTube. So I hope this helped you guys out, and stick around for maybe 20,000 or 50,000, however long it takes me to get there, because it only took me, since 2009 to get to 10. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram so you can get some behind the scenes stuff that hasn't happened yet and unreleased content that no one else has seen. And if you haven't already, watch that video. And if you watched that video, watch that video. And if you've watched both of those videos already, make sure you subscribe down here. Yeah, watch this stuff. It's awesome. And if you've watched that, and subscribed,